go and do the films with all that, and because I've always watched them ever since I was small, and it always seems, because it's always characters, I mean, is it like getting back with lots of old friends, or is it just like going back to work?
It's a little bit of both. It's going back to work, definitely. But I'm very happy with the character of Captain Kirk. I like the character. I like the growth that I've come to see in the character. I like the people who work on it. The people who worked on Star Trek II provided me with some of the happiest experiences I've had as an actor in a long, long time. So it's going back to work, but it's also seeing old friends.
Is it because it's a very famous character, and I mean, it's one that I think almost everybody knows. I mean, it's that widely known. Do you find it bothersome, and do you find people bother you and keep coming up and asking you to beam them up and stuff? I mean, is it a bothersome thing?
Well, it isn't bothersome. Kids do come running out and say, beam me up, and where is Scotty, and how's Spock, and all those familiar phrases.
Let's have a look.
And sensitive. I love that in a man.
When everything goes wrong, sometimes it makes no sense. There once was a time I should have known better then. Although you may try, it won't come your way again. Hey, little girl, where will you hide? Who can you run to now? Hey, little girl, where will you go? Who can you turn to now? So why should I care if somebody let you down? That's nothing new. The talk is all over town. And it's no surprise, little girls hurt sometimes. Hey, little girl, where will you hide? Who can you run to now? Hey, little girl, where will you go? Who can you turn to?
What a fabulous thing. Well, there we are now. Had a lot of letters in saying, well, the sound on the tube is probably the best sound in televised music today. The man who is the sound man here, well, not Ken Wood, who used to mix. We've changed him. And the man who's been with Tyne-T's doing the sound for 25 years with us now, Stanley. How has the sound changed, or the sound boards and the equipment changed over the last few years?
Well, in the early 2L Ho, this was the early days of Radioscope for it, John Logie Baird for the visual hold, and Mark Gueglio Marconi across the herring pole or pond for that. So the big change is in the early days, big rotating knob, grab it both handballs and turn your half a low downer for the sound. Today, little tiny knob low, trickly how, half low downer, and the slidey ho, there's the joy. Could I explain the slidey ho?
Please do, because there is some. Is it loudest when it's up at the top or when it's down at the bottom?
No, at the top is a logarithmic focus, where frequency and cramping of the octave, toka, very high up there, so there's logarithmic control for that. But one prop load is dirty, though.
Yeah.
Oh, zero.
Any
level.
tips to the hi-fi buffs at home who might want to sort of get this fine sound that you've got?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me, because several of my hi-fi for Lollipop friends say tube joy for the sound smites their eardrums as a clean-cut clinical thought made. So I'll say that. Oh, yes. I was going to hold them on account of the early control, you see. So call it up gently form throw, and when they're above 4 and peak it ho, clip and clip on account of the limiters work it and hold in their talkers for that.
Well, just finally, you've worked with all the greatest acts in the world, you know, from Caruso to the Beatles. Who's been your favourite, and who's been some of the you worked with?
A favourite is, according to Moody, I rather like music, as you know. Now, Charles Percy Ho, that was a royal Thorcus gave, the peacock of that throne, if you remember. Then there was the King Fez, the first Farouk, which Egypt gave for it, and all the royalty of the crown.